All right, so we're getting started here this evening. Hello, 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 everybody. I am excited about this evening and today's topic. I have with me the wonderful Darlene Jenkins from Affordable Benefit Solutions. And we're talking this evening about something that a lot of people have chimed in. Like once I put this topic out there, I got so many people saying, I am really interested. I got to listen. I'm going to make sure that I am online, on time, setting my clock so we can learn more and talk more about this. So this is um, one where I want everybody to engage. If you are online now or in the future, make sure you type it into the chat. Make sure you're sharing this information now because we want others to be part of this conversation. We want you to be part of this conversation. So please make sure that you like and share this information. Make sure people are joining now. Yes, I see my cousin Bonnie right here from North Carolina online. So thank you so much, Bonnie, and everybody else that's online. Drop in the chat where you are now, who you are, so we can give you a shout out. But again, I'm here with Darlene from Affordable Benefit Solution, and her business is right here in the DMV area, right in Largo, Maryland, outside of Washington, D.C. So as we talk, you'll hear about her and her expertise, and you'll be able to reach out to her. So we're here today to talk about retirement savings, women retirement savings, and why
Yes.
is it less than men's retirement savings? And you might be wondering, like, how did I come up with this topic? Well, I was on LinkedIn and I saw an article that talked about how women's retirement savings are less. And it gave reasons why, but I still didn't understand. I mean, I do and I don't. And so we're here today to talk about Bridget from Matson. I hope I said that right. Matson, Illinois, right outside Chicago, because I just saw my girl this past week. And so I want to talk with Darlene because Darlene, this is her wheelhouse, and she will be able to help us not only to understand some of these reasons that we discussed, but also help us with some tips on how we can move forward from no matter where we are in our
Yep.
journey towards retirement. Some of us might be further out, some of us might be a little bit closer, but we are going to make sure that we know what we can do, realistic tips for us. We hear tips all the time, but they may not be realistic where just a common, people can do. So we're going to talk about those. So make sure that you type in the chat. See Norma out here, type in the chat your questions as we go along, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So Darlene, before we get into the nitty gritty, I want you
Yes.
to tell a little bit about yourself and your company and how you got started.
Well, thank you so much, Sharon. Royalty Business. Thank you for having me on here. I am Darlene Jenkins. My firm is Affordable Benefit Solutions, and I am your retire ready strategist. And what we do at ABS is we help people. It doesn't matter where you are in your work journey, whether you are just starting to plan and you're thinking about what it takes to prepare for retirement, we can help you with that. If you're 5 to 10 years out from retirement and you're looking for, hey, do I need a checkup to see where I am? What do I need to do? Am I on track? We help you put together a comprehensive financial plan based on the benefits that you already have through your employer. But for all of my entrepreneurs out there, we also can help you because Rita, my business partner, the founder of Affordable Benefit Solutions, we are entrepreneurs. So there's some things that we need to be doing differently than our other clients and friends and family that have an employer. So we're here to help you no matter where you are on the journey. As Sharon said, we are located in Largo, Maryland. But you know what? For real, it doesn't matter where you are. Sharon, one thing COVID taught us is
Mm-hmm.
that right here, this platform, we are all connected. We can, with a phone call or this mouse click,
Right,
we
right.
can be right in the same room
That's
together.
right. That's
So
right.
we are here to help you reach your financial destination one strategy at a time.
That's right. And I want to give a shout out to Darlene and Rita because last week they were in Chicago at the Federally Employed Women's training program, and they did a phenomenal job with their
Thank you.
presentation. And then this week they are in Tampa, Florida. See, that's how she's saying that she could be anywhere because she's in Tampa, Florida right now at the Blacks in Government, the big conference. And
Yep.
so if you are there or if you know somebody that's there, make sure you let them know to go see Darlene and Rita before they leave because they got some great information that they're going to share and help them on their journey towards their retirement. So,
Yes, absolutely.
yeah, so Darlene, again, thank
Mhm.
you for being with me this evening. And let's just get started.
Go
So,
ahead.
as mentioned, I was reading an article and it
Hmm.
said that women's retirements are less than men. And I can understand why once they gave the reasons, but it still was hard to read that article to see that, see these reasons. They
Yeah.
and I'm gonna share some of these reasons too, but it was like
Hmm.
it's like 30%, and that's just really small. Really, I'm sure it's larger
Hmm.
depending on various instances, but I'm sure the gap is larger. But basically, like 30% is the difference in how much men have saved for retirement versus women. And what I thought about also was the demographics that they could have used for this particular survey for the article. Because if you look across um, ethnicities, that gap could be very much larger, you know.
And Sharon, let me just say, so you hit on a very, very important point right there. That women on average save about 30% less than men. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the reasons for that is the pay disparity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
we all know that, and it's been congressional hearings and everything that have confirmed concretely that women earn less than white men. Okay, because that's
Mm-hmm.
what the workforce was primarily made up of. So that's what they compare it to. What are white men earning compared to women? Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting ready to blow your mind, and everybody listening now, and we'll listen later. Not only does it break down by gender, it also breaks down by education.
Mm-hmm.
But by education across the board, we're still earning less. Women get more degrees, okay,
Mm-hmm.
than men. But on average, even with a college degree, we earn 28.6% less with a college degree. So that's about on average $28,000 a year.
That's a lot of money. That's
A
almost a
year,
starting salary for someone. That's
$28,000 a year. But then it gets deeper because now we have to bring in race.
mm-hmm.
So white women earn 83% of what white men earn.
Mm-hmm.
Asian Pacific Islanders, American Asian Pacific Islanders, they earn 90%. So they're earning more than white women. But African American Black women, we earn only 69.8%. 69. So we're earning almost 30% less, 20% less than our white counterparts. But Hispanic, our Latino sisters, they are only earning 65%. So they're earning less than African Americans.
Mm-hmm.
So that pay disparity, that contributes as well because over our lifetime, if we extrapolate that out over how many years we're going to be working,
Mm-hmm.
that means if we're not making as much, we don't have as much to put away.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because we as women, we have a lot of unique talents and abilities. And I'm going to say it. We run the world. We're running our
Mm-hmm.
households, our families. We're keeping the children together. If we're in a relationship, we married, we're keeping our husband together.
Right. Right.
managing the food budget, the
Right.
school budget. We managing everything.
Yes, yes. That's what they say in the chat. You know, Norma was like, wow, and Bridget's saying the same things, that we get double whammy as African American women. And
Absolutely.
so
That's
Bonnie,
real.
right. So Bonnie is asking, is that no matter what your profession is?
Bonnie, yes, you may be earning a good salary, especially if you're in the federal government and in private industry, because a lot of federal and municipality and state employees like, well, I'm gonna go to private industry. Now each has their pros and cons. But if you were to find out what your male counterpart sitting right in the cubicle next to you is
Mm-hmm.
really earning, you would be surprised.
And
In most cases, because
mm-hmm.
these statistics didn't just come out of the air. They looked at people across all work demographics. And another thing, Sharon, and everybody listening, oftentimes women, we don't negotiate our salaries.
Mm.
So, what
Mm-hmm.
is that? When I think about women, because I'm a woman and I look at my own self and I think about some of the things that go through my mind and that have gone through my mind because I'm a former federal employee. And when they offered me that job, I was like, oh, okay. How much you paying?
Right,
Okay, great.
right,
I'll
right.
take it.
Yeah.
Why? Because we don't know our worth.
You
We
know,
know
that
our
was just,
worth, but we
we,
don't
but
believe our worth.
yes, yes. And that's exactly what I was thinking when you were saying that, because I feel we undervalue our worth.
Absolutely.
We
We
undervalue,
undervalue
yeah, I think especially as African American women, that's, we've been kind of, I want to say, trained or taught not to like push the envelope or things like that. So we undervalue our work. This is what we do. This is we got to be strong and we have to be this and that. And this is what we do. So we undervalue our work. We know that it's valuable. But when it comes to, like you said, advocating for ourselves and negotiating, then we don't do those things. And
because
so,
we
yeah, so
don't
yeah.
believe we should because we have so
Right.
much that we're balancing. So if we speak up, now we're dealing with the image, oh, you're aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I
Mm-hmm.
aggressive? Because I'm asking, questions about things. And ladies, that's another thing. This is a tip that you can do. Learn to ask effective questions.
Mm-hmm.
Learn to ask questions. So if someone says, oh, you're being aggressive, that's very interesting. You should say that. Why are you saying that? Or what makes you say that? Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
put that question, you whatever they say to you, put it right back to them as a form of a question. That's
Right.
very interesting. What makes you say that?
Right, right. Or do your
And
research. I would say, also do your research about a position. What is the
yes,
average salary for that position? Where you're located? I told my youngest son, when he told me what he wanted to major in school, I said, look it up. Look up what that salary is that you'll make starting out. So, have an idea of what it is that you're going to be making when you go to apply for jobs. Because
yeah,
if you don't know, you don't know. And then you'll just, like you said, we just accept anything.
absolutely. You
Yeah.
absolutely will. And
Yeah.
so, Sharon, not only are we dealing with the pay disparity, but we are women. We're life givers.
Mm-hmm.
We're caregivers.
Right.
So we often are in and out of the workforce. Now, I'm a mom, right? My daughter is 23, she's in college. But do you know a woman who has a child earns 26% less than their female counterparts that do not have children? And for every child you have, that's a 3% decrease in pay that you'll receive. And the reason is because you're going to be off work. So you're missing earning time. And then if you leave the workforce, because let's face it, ladies, daycare,
Mm-hmm.
daycare, I've had friends who were married and the daycare was so expensive that it didn't make sense for
Yeah.
both parents to go to work
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
they weren't, it just wasn't making sense with how much they were paying out in daycare, and both of them are leaving the home.
Right.
So we're
Right.
caregivers, and if we're out of the workforce, when we caregive, whether it's for our children or for an aging parent or a spouse, we generally miss about 3.5 years. I'm sure everybody out here probably knows somebody who stopped working to care
Mhm.
for someone.
Yeah. Let me just share some comments that's in the chat right now. So Bonnie said, we often make a dollar out of 15 after out of 50 cents, so we heard that how we stretch that dollar till it holler. That's what you say, just
Yes.
stretch it till it holler. And then Shahara, she also shared an experience she had where she said that she tried to negotiate her salary when she was promoted and was told she could not get a higher pay for some made up reason, and worked as an acting role for 2 years before she was promoted, only to get a $17 a month increase. And then Bonnie also shared that daycare can be mortgage payment. Yes, it can.
Oh,
And so many of our listeners know that I have children. I have 5 biological children. And one of my children's daycare, their child daycare is more than their rent.
yes. Yes. My little grandbaby, he goes to a great daycare.
Mm-hmm.
But that daycare is 435 a week. A week.
Mm.
That's almost $1,900 a
Yes,
month.
that is
Eighteen
quite a
hundred dollars a
boy.
month.
Right.
And I said, you would have to be coming to, I would have the diaper bag, my computer bag, and you would be having to come to work and sit in your playpen at
Right.
my desk.
Exactly. Yes. Yes.
That
Yeah.
is, so moms are staying home. And that means if you stay home, because a lot of women, they may stay home to get their children where, they feel more comfortable. They're walking, they're
Mm-hmm.
talking, they can at least communicate. Miss So and so, pinch me, mommy.
Mm-hmm.
You want to
Mm-hmm.
know what's
Right.
going on
Right.
with your child. But
Yeah.
when you do that, that means you're entering the workforce late.
Right. Right.
So you don't have as much time to earn that income. And then you put on top of that, you're earning less.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is another reason why we're saving less, because we're making less and we have less time in the workforce.
Right. And so we also have to take into account that sometimes we take part-time jobs.
Yep. We'll
So
get
those,
part-time
right,
jobs
right. So those part-time jobs, instead of having a full-time job, it's not giving you all the money that you would
that
normally
you need.
have. And you mentioned about being a parent and being a single parent. So if you're a single parent, you're the only one bringing in the salary. Your priority is to take care of your family. Savings, I know for me, when I was a single parent, savings was the last thing. I could barely make sure that my bills were paid. And so,
Right.
and if it wasn't for my dad helping out, he was my babysitter, and he would sometimes, give me food or whatever. But realistically, we just could not afford, that wasn't my priority at that time.
Right. And I want to speak to that because I was a single parent too. And my mom, rest in peace, she helped me tremendously.
Mm-hmm.
And as women, as moms, caregivers, you said something very important, Sharon, that it wasn't our priority. You were right. I was right there too. It wasn't my priority initially. But
Mm-hmm.
then I heard Mr. Joe Dudley speak.
Mm.
He was the owner and founder of Dudley Hair products. I don't know
Right,
if they
right
still
down there in
sell
North
them.
Carolina.
Yes, out of North Carolina,
Yes,
went down
yes.
to his school. But when Mr. Dudley first started out, he said that saving is so important that his parents or grandparents, someone had instilled in him the importance of savings. And
Mm-hmm.
so for us as women, we make everybody else, everything else a priority.
Mm-hmm.
But this right here blew my mind about Mr. Dudley and how we can make savings a priority. It's a mindset that
Yes,
we have to switch on.
yes.
So he said when he had nothing and he was out, he used to work with Mr. HB Fuller selling Fuller brushes. And
Mm-hmm.
he said he went to the bank and he opened up a bank account with 50 cents. And he said he would go into that bank and no matter what, every time he made money, whether he had to deposit a nickel, a quarter, 50 cents, he was saving. He said it doesn't matter how much you're saving, it's the habit that you are establishing
Mm.
of saving,
Right, right,
of
right.
just putting it in there. And he said how the tellers would laugh at him, saying, "You keep coming in here putting this 50 cents in, putting this nickel in, you ain't gonna never have no money." And then look, because he had the habit. So when he had little, he developed the habit of saving something,
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he got more, he could save more. So, ladies, we as women, whether you are working, if you're a stay-at-home mom, your husband is the primary caregiver, your partner, whatever your situation is, this doesn't matter if you're working or you're not working. Now, I'm going to get to you all if you're not working, if you're stay-at-home and you don't have a consistent income like your spouse or your partner is helping provide for you. So we're going to get them involved. But if you are working, like I said, it's a mindset. So one thing you can do, one strategy is number one, set up automatic deductions.
Mm.
Because we got a whole list of reasons why we are behind.
Right,
I can
right.
run down a litany of things and I'm still
Yeah,
go over them.
yeah, yeah.
But this
And
one
yeah.
thing right here, make it automatic. Set it and forget it.
Mm-hmm. That's
If you in the set it and forget it now, if you have to do a flat dollar amount starting out, that's fine. But
mm-hmm.
don't forget, because you're going to need to go back and do a percentage.
Yeah.
If
So,
you,
Darlene, let me just interject real quick because you said something powerful that I heard, and that was that when Mr. Dudley said somebody told him and told him about savings, I feel that we don't talk enough about money. When I was growing, my parents did not talk about how much they made, how much went out for expenses. None of those things were shared. You know I had a home, I know I had food, I could get whatever I wanted when I asked for my parents. But that conversation, letting our family, our children understand what is going on in the household financially helps to
yeah,
give them an idea and to establish those mindsets. It starts, it can start when they're young. So
it
having
does.
those conversations really, really helped. I wanted to share how I think the first time I really kind of understood about my parents and what was going on with their money was I was in high school and I went to a Catholic high school and tuition was due. And if you didn't pay your tuition, they called you to the office. And they called me to the office.
Yeah.
And so that was one time. But my parents knew they got it straight or whatever. Then the next time was soon after that is when I got married. I got married the day before I graduated from high school. And so my parents paid for my wedding and everything. I had a nice small wedding, but I was graduating from high school. So all my friends were going and doing stuff. And I was like, well, why am I not doing anything? And my mother was like, we don't have no money to do that. We just pay for a wedding. And I just sat there like, oh, well, if I had a choice, I think I might have wanted to go out with my friends. I'm 17. I want to do what my friends were doing. So realistically, there was no conversation back then. And
No
so I
education.
think
Yep.
that's something that we need to start making sure that we do, no matter how old we
Absolutely.
are, no matter how old our children are. And so we had a couple of comments here.
Mm-hmm.
Bonnie asked, can we realistically catch up? And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what steps can be done to kind of to catch up as much as we can where we are now. And then Bridget comment is, so we know that the banks do not pay enough interest. So what other vehicles can we use that are more liquid and easily accessed for emergencies? So we'll touch on both of those things.
Okay. So you are so on it, Sharon, when you said about we weren't taught. So starting today, ladies, spread the word. If you have grandchildren, children that are in high school or whatever, start talking to them about finances. So one of the things that we teach our clients at Affordable Benefit Solutions, we because our parents didn't talk to us and didn't share with us, their parents didn't talk to them, your grandparents didn't talk to you about money, so we pass on that trait to our children. We have to, because we're women, we want to seem like everything is held together, and we like this on the inside.
Right. Exactly.
We
Exactly.
are a
Exactly.
mess, but on the
Right.
outside we're like this,
Exactly.
like ducks in the water, feet.
Uh-huh.
But on the outside, we just gliding along, struggling.
Yeah.
So for myself, like I said, I was a single parent. My mom, similar to you, I found out, that we were not, because I thought we were middle class, that we had it going on. My mother
Right.
worked for the government, you
Yep.
know, we lived by we had moved out with my grandmother. I thought we were living there, because that's what people did from the country. Everybody lived together. No, we were
Right.
there. She couldn't afford to be out on her own with me. So
Mm-hmm.
then we did make it out, and I heard my mother talking on the phone and was like, she needed to borrow some money to pay the rent. I was like, borrow some money to pay the rent? Wait a minute, I thought we was rich. I thought we had it going on. So then that made me more cognizant. But every time I would ask my mother about things, she would be like, oh, no, no, no. And she would go out of her way and make sacrifices to her detriment because she didn't want to tell me that we didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when I had my daughter, I said, well, I'm not going to go in debt or feel bad because I don't have it. What I'm going, and we have to be very careful about the words we use with our children. We,
Mm-hmm.
not to say, oh, well, I'm broke. We don't have it. We don't have it. We don't have it, because that will develop in them and in ourselves a broke mindset, a
Right.
poor mindset that we're
Right.
poor. So instead, it's not in the budget this month
Right.
to get them, because we have to have a budget. We have to have an expense plan
Mm-hmm.
of what we're paying, and not just what we pay out to other people, but us. What do we do for us? We're going to get our hair done. We need to get our children's hair done. We have different expenses that we pay for, but we don't put on our expense plan or our budget every month. So
Right.
we have
Right.
to, yeah, we have to put that on there and have a weekly meeting with your children
Mm.
about the state. Have a family meeting, because your family and
Mm-hmm.
is your economy, and that's your corporation. So you
Mm.
need to have a state of affairs meeting
Right.
every Friday or Saturday, Wednesday night, whatever
Right.
date you choose to have it,
Right.
and lay it out, because your children will help you save money. All
They
of a sudden, if you let them know, look, this is what I'm trying, this is what mommy and daddy are trying to accomplish.
mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
know you want to do this, so we're going to make this sacrifice to keep you, to have you in whatever sport you're in, whatever it is. But the point I'm making is talk to your children. Don't be afraid to tell them, it's not in the budget this month. And one of the other things, Sharon, and I'm going to let you jump in here, that I would tell my daughter when she would want, especially, all of the kids are getting the latest tennis shoes. I mean, $150. My mother didn't believe in buying tennis shoes. If you weren't playing sports, she was like, look, you're a little girl. If you're not playing sports, you're not wearing no tennis shoes. You wearing sandals or hard bottom shoes. That was my mother. So I wasn't used to getting designer or tennis shoes. And so the sticker shock of buying $150 or $200 pair of shoes, I just couldn't get with it. But what my mother did give me was experiences, because she would tell me, now, look, I'm going to take you to the Bahamas, so you can't be asking me for stuff all year long. Do you want to go to the Bahamas, or do you want me to go ahead and, give you this money to go to the carnival? Now, I'm sure she had that money for me to go to the carnival. I'm just saying. But of course, you give them choices, get them involved. So when I started doing that with my daughter, when she wanted those tennis shoes, I never forget, they were LeBrons. I said, you want me to spend this $100? I said, I got $200. I'll get these tennis shoes, but that means you're not going to the Bahamas with me. What you want to do? And she cried, and we left the store because she wanted to go on a trip. So get your children involved in then that's what we help our clients do. Put together a budget, number one, your expense plan, so we know what your lifestyle needs. How much does it cost to finance your lifestyle now while you're working, as well as in retirement? So we have to do that. You do not have to pretend with your children to be something you're not, because when they understand that, oh, it's tight over here, your kids, because when they find out, in a roundabout way, now they're going to start feeling guilty. And you don't want them to feel guilty. Say, hey, come on, it's time for the budget meeting. Then that gets them to start, that's when you start telling them, saving about money. If you're giving them allowance, okay, now here's your allowance. This is the rules. You save 10%. You have to learn to live off of 70% of your income. Now, for me and my daughter, we save 10%, invest 10%, and we tithe 10%, period. Even in college, when she just came back off of her intern program, she made $7,000 for the summer. She's sending me money to put into her no money account. Teach them about different accounts. So what is a no money account? It's basically an emergency fund. This is money you will not touch no matter what, because it's really no money, because it's over there for an emergency.
So, Johnny, let me just jump in, because we do have these two questions that came up. And so back to where Benita asked, she asked about, can you realistically catch up? So if you are later in life, older in age and later in life, or later in your career, and you are closer to retirement, maybe give us like 2 or 3 tips that a person could do.
So number one is you're going to have to change your mentality about saving, because it's going to require a sacrifice. It's going to require a sacrifice. Number two, we're going to spend about 30 to 40 years in retirement. You'll spend just as much time retired as you did working. We're living longer. So even if you are 60, if you take the next 10 to 15 years, you're at 75 and you're getting ready to retire, that means you're going to be spending at least another 15 years or 20 years in retirement, because we're living to age 100. So start setting up automatic deductions. If you have an employer that has matching contributions, you want to make sure you're doing the matching contributions. Then what I want you to do is write down everything you're spending money on. And then we're going to, and this is an exercise I take our clients through, people who come and, work with us. Then we're going to look at to see, what can we cut $10 from? What are 10 things we can cut $10 from? What are 5 things we can cut $10 from? To start putting yourself first. Because if you don't put yourself first, nobody is going to put yourself first. and put you first. And if you are used to paying everybody else first, you have to now decide that you put you at the front of the line. And that's going to take a change in your mindset about you, because it's always, and when I tell you always, going to be a reason, a bill, somebody needs something, your child needs something, why you cannot put away money for retirement. Right. But if you don't save for retirement for yourself, nobody is. So when you look at your cable and you paying $300 a month for cable, and the reason I know some of us out there are paying $300 a month for Comcast or Fios, Verizon, whatever they going by, DirecTV, is because I was one of them. We start off with the $99 a month plan.
Right.
And 2 years in, we're back up to what they wanted us to pay.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to determine, is Comcast more important, or Verizon, or you? Get yourself a Fire Stick. And then that $200, don't just absorb it into your life and now you're going out to dinner more and stuff like that. Put it into your retirement.
Yeah. So now that you moving into that, Bridget had asked about other vehicles that can be used that are more liquid or easily accessed for emergencies instead of just having it in the bank.
Well, Bridget, interest rates break down to how much availability you need. The reason you're getting so little in the bank is because you can come and get it anytime you want to. And so therefore, it can't be invested to get a return. So the more access you have to the money, the lower the interest rate you're going to receive.
Okay.
If you are willing, if you are saving this, so you have to determine, do I need liquidity, or do I want to have this saved for when I'm older? So one of the plans that we help our clients with is that we do have a vehicle that pays about 5.5%, and you can actually get that interest rate every year. So that's the liquid part. And then you can have this vehicle for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years. And so at the end of that time, you get all of your principal back, but you have still taken advantage of a higher interest rate, and you're now drawing down on that interest rate. But the principal still remains there, getting that interest rate.
All right.
So there are a lot of different things. So, I don't want to give out too much specifics, because somebody be like, oh, I'm going to do that, and that particular strategy may not be good for them. But anybody who's listening, if you want, I'm willing to offer a 15-minute complimentary phone session with you to see how I can help you specifically with your particular situation.
So that's what I was going to ask you to do. Share your contact information so others can know and be able to get in touch with you.
Okay, how do I share? Do I put that in the?
Well, just right now, you just shared. I'm gonna write it down, and then I'll put it into the chat.
Okay, and I'm on Facebook, and I'm gonna make a comment and put it there as well.
Okay, well, you go ahead. That's good, but yeah, share it now.
Okay, so you can reach me on 301-577-6340. That is my office number. You can also, I have a calendar link I can give to you. It's I'm gonna send it to you, Sharon, and you may be able to share it on your end. So I'm going to just share it on our platform right now.
Okay.
And you can and that'll go directly to go directly to our calendar. And what you would do is just choose my name and pick me, and it'll come directly to me. Did you get it, Sharon?
Yeah, I did, and I'm going to post it right now.
Yes, you can also, myself and my business partner, Dr. Rita Bailey Rowland, we do a bi-monthly program called Financial Fun Friday, where we also give different tools and strategies and tips. We do it on the first and third Monday, not on a Monday, first and third Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that is on YouTube. And you can find us on YouTube you put the @ ABS Retirement Solutions. So we're over there. We have a whole bunch of videos over there. I'm on Instagram at Retire Ready Strategist. And then our company page on Instagram is ABS Retirement Solutions as well.
Okay, great.
But yeah,
Yes.
give
So
me a call.
everybody should have
Yeah,
that.
call me, set
Everybody
up.
should
You can go
have that
right to my
information.
calendar. Just choose Darlene Jenkins.
Yeah, everybody should have that information. I just dropped into the chat her calendar. So make sure you make that appointment. Like I said, it doesn't matter where you are located in the world,
In
she
the
can help
world.
you. And her
Yes.
phone number is right there, so you can call her office and get more information about it. So I want to share this comment that that Bonnie put in here. She said, you know that, okay, you know, now that I think about it, I was making 50% less in my allowance than my brother. I thought it was because of the age difference, but it never increased. So that's interesting. You know how even those things that, you know, our
Because
parents have
we,
done, not intentionally or intentionally, not intentionally, you know, just
it's
based on
more
maybe their
sub,
beliefs.
yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's more subconsciously. I mean,
Right.
it's ingrained in us that women are even women are devalued because the things that we do. So when we get paid for chores, what are they break down to traditional roles? The girls, we're cooking and cleaning, but the
Mm-hmm.
boys taking out the trash and maybe doing the lawn. So that's hard work. Taking out the trash and mowing the lawn,
I've
that's
done those
hard work.
things
So he need to get more. She just washing the dishes and washing clothes. You in the house, that ain't that much.
until you have to do those things.
Until you have to do, but they still think, okay, well, we'll give her, 50 cents, but he get $1 for
Mm-hmm.
doing what he do. So it also starts there. And Sharon, another reason why we don't have as much saved for retirement, and I'm glad you asked me to share my information, is because women are less likely to actually seek out professional help from someone
Yes,
like
yes,
myself.
yes, yes. That
So
is something that I read, that they want help, but they don't seek the help. So one of the questions I wanted to ask you about your client base, like how many women versus men do you have as clients?
I have probably about 70% of my clients are women.
Okay.
About
Okay.
70% of my clients are women. And the women generally bring their husbands. I do have here at the big conference, I saw two of my male clients here. I was like, oh my gracious, that were in the classes. But yeah, about 70% of my clients are women.
So they are starting to get to that where they want to make sure that they are being more financially savvy and
Yeah,
preparing themselves for their next journey in life. Because retirement doesn't necessarily mean that you're not work. It's that you're moving from one thing to another. So whatever that is, then be prepared to move to it, because you're going to need finances as long as you live. You're going to need money as long as
exactly.
you live.
And see, and as you move towards retirement, there are different things that you have to consider when you get to that mountain peak of retirement. Now that you're going on the other side, this is something you've never ever done before, and there are different things you have to take into consideration, because in retirement you're going to have taxes that only retirees have, such as RMDs. You're drawing Social Security, you're going to be getting Social Security taxes. So there
Right.
are senior only taxes that you now have to be aware of. Now you have to be more cognizant about your health. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking long-term care, because even if we put together the best plan, or you've put together the best plan, but you don't have any contingencies in there, that if you get sick or hurt and you need long-term care, or your partner or your spouse, everything you've saved can be wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
Wiped out. And because most of you out there are probably saving in tax deferred accounts, that means when I don't care how much you have in that account, $1 million. If you need long-term care, and if you're in private industry, you have a 401k, that means that money in that 401k, you have to turn that into a stream of income that you can't outlive. Because it's already been shown that the 4% rule, meaning, Sharon, what that means, the 4% rule is that you take 4% of that money out every year, and that should last you for over your lifetime. But we don't take into account the effects of the economy and downturns in the market, how that eats away. And then on top of that, we layer, you need long-term care. You got Alzheimer's, you can't do two or more of life's daily activities. And it doesn't always mean that occurred because you had a disease or something. You could get into a very bad car accident.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And now
Right.
you can't do two or more life daily activities, and you go into this tax deferred account to get that money out. And
Mm-hmm.
so now you got to pay the taxes on it. So in order to get, let's say, $30,000 out for your health care, you're going to need to take out about 40.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
So it's going to
Because
eat that money up.
yeah,
So you need
yeah.
a strategy. And one of the things we help people with is creating a written retirement income plan. Because when
Mm.
I ask people, they're like, oh, yeah, I have money over here and I have money in my 401k or TSP. That's not a plan. That's just a pool of money. You're
Mm-hmm.
telling me your pools of money. How do all of those pools come together to create the type of lifestyle that you want?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And so you've hit on like everything that I had down that I wanted to make sure that we covered because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much to it. And I'm so glad that you agreed to be on here tonight because you just went right on through it like you were reading my mind. That's how God works. He just pulls people together right when they needed to be in order to
Yes.
share the information. So I just want everybody to know that if you aren't able to listen, or if you came in late and you aren't able to listen to this in its entirety, it's going to be on my YouTube channel, Royalty Business Group, and you'll be able to listen to this and past episodes that I've had where you will see Darlene. She's been on here before giving the great advice that she's given. So make sure that you go to YouTube for myself, for Darlene and her business as well. And make sure you reach out to her. Click on that link that's in the chat and schedule that 15-minute consultation where she can just give you some information and then be able to work from there, whether you work with her or anything. At least you getting the information and to start that mindset change, because mindset change does not come overnight. It's something
No.
that has to take time and practice. And usually people don't change their mindset until they have like a traumatic thing go on, something major happens, and then they change their mindset. Well, this is major. This is major. So make sure that
This is,
you are getting this information out there. Like and share this so others can see it as well,
yes,
because we do want to share this information so others can be empowered and be able to know what you learned. That you have a
exactly.
heads up to need
Yes,
to
you do.
know what you learned today. So we
Yes.
have about 11 minutes left, Darlene, of this time. And I just wondered, what closing words do you have for us?
Well, I want to just reiterate a couple of things. Number one, save something. Don't, it doesn't matter how small it is, because small things turn into big things. My grandmother used to tell me pennies turn into dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Pennies turn into dollars. So even if you can only save $5, Joe Dudley said it's the habit of saving.
Mm-hmm.
Do an automatic allotment, an automatic deduction, an automatic transfer from your checking to another account outside of what you can go and readily get your hands on.
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is, the reason, Sharon, most women don't seek financial professional help is because we're ashamed of where we are.
Mm.
We feel bad of where we are right now. I should be doing better. But let
Yeah.
me ask you something. If your car break down right now, Are you going to say, well, let me see what's going on? Is it the alternator or is it the starter before I go to the mechanic? No, you're going to go straight to the mechanic. Something going on with this car. Can you tell me what it is?
Right, right.
If your pipes burst, you're going to try to get under there and see if you need a washer. Do you need a straight pipe, the curved pipe? No, you're going to say, I need professional help to get over here. So right now, I want to tell you, no shame on you, shame off of you, shame off of you.
That's all I'm saying. Shame off of us.
Shame off
off
of
of us.
you. You
Yeah.
need help. Start where you are. Let me tell you something. Over here, this is a no judgment zone. The things we talk about that I know about is because I've been through. That's how I can say you need to start saving something. Because I was literally saying, I feel crazy going over here putting in $5. But if Joe Dudley could put in 50 cents, surely I could make it over here to Capital One and put in $5.
Right. And having a goal, having a purpose, having that passion, that purpose out there helps you to change that mindset. Because when you say, I want to retire in another 5 years, or I want to retire at age 60 or 57 or whatever that time is for you, then you are more likely to do it and share it. Because one thing that is said, that when you have a goal and when you share it, when you write it down, then you're more likely to accomplish it. Have a vision board or something put up where you can see it and tell others about it, because then they're going to hold you accountable. They're going to say, didn't you say that you were going to so and so? Like when you try to lose weight and you're like, yeah, I'm about to lose this 20 pounds. By next summer, you're going to see me. I'm going to be in that little baby suit. And so people look, I thought you were going to lose 20 pounds. I don't see no. So you definitely want to, you know they are. You know they are. You telling people, I done lost 5 pounds. They were like, you did? So, you
sure, that is so real, girl.
Right.
Oh,
so just go ahead and put it out there. Put yourself out there. Like we said, just throw off the shame. Throw off the shame, because we've all been there. We are there, and we now going to be over this and move on to the next level. So, Darlene, is there anything else you'd like to share?
Get yourself together a budget. I have a budget. If you want to just contact me, Sharon, I shared the budget with you, right? It's very detailed. It covers things that you probably didn't even think about needs to be on your expense plan that you're spending money for. So get yourself, but the most important thing is determine what you're willing to sacrifice. Determine what you're willing to sacrifice, because you can't have a ship come in if you never set one out.
Right. And you know what also comes to mind when you say what you're willing to sacrifice is like determine your worth. Determine your worth, because this is part of your worth. This is who you are. And we all want to leave a legacy. We all want to leave a legacy. And whether you're male or female, because I see my cousin up here, man, who just joined us, but we want to leave a legacy. And so leaving that legacy means knowing our worth, making sure that our family members know their worth, and that worth is not just financial. You want to make sure that they understand who they are. And I'm going to tell a quick thing that I learned about my grandmother on my dad's side, that she was a midwife. Instead of being paid by money, she got paid by land. And so when she passed away, she was able to give away to her children acres. I mean, my father got 30 acres of land.
Wow.
And he was one of 8 children.
Wow.
She did take into consideration some other factors when dividing up the land. But can you imagine just being that savvy back in the early 1900s? My parents had me late in life. So they were in their 40s by the time they had me. So that means that they were born in the 20s. So in the early 1900s, my grandmother was that savvy to say that she wanted to be paid in land instead of being paid in money.
That is phenomenal.
And that land is still in our family now. You
That
still have
is
that land.
that is phenomenal.
Right.
Can I just say one thing that just dropped into my spirit as we talk about our children in retirement?
Mm-hmm.
You can't put that burden on your children to take care of you because
Mm-hmm.
you spent your retirement money on their education. That was
Yeah.
your decision.
Mm.
That's
That's
your
what we do.
choice.
There's something
They
we do.
don't owe you. Don't put that burden on them.
Right.
Don't keep asking them, you gonna take care of mama? You gonna help daddy? That's not their job. You made that decision. That's why you have to put yourself first. I love my daughter. I love my daughter. I would do anything for her, but I'm going to do what I need to do for me first. And
Put
she
the
knows
oxygen
that.
mask on first. Isn't that what they say? Put the
Right.
oxygen mask on first.
Because if you go down, they going down. And
Mm-hmm.
we don't want to get to be 65, 70. And because we gave all of our retirement, we sacrificed all of our finances for our children. Now we're looking to them to take care of us, and they have their own families that they're taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Don't. I know that's what we've been programmed to do as women, to give it all, but we got to keep some for ourselves. Put yourself first. It's okay. I am giving you permission. Your Retire Ready strategist is giving you permission today to put yourself first. So put yourself first.
Yes, 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 yes. That is a great note. Put yourself first. That's what
Yes.
create that legacy, but you got to put yourself first, and then everybody else is going to follow. Everybody else is going to follow. All
Yeah.
right, Darlene, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you so much
you.
for taking the time out. I know you've been busy for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And so I truly, truly appreciate you taking out this time. Thank you, everybody that's online. It's been so wonderful to see everybody and their engagement. Make sure you click on that link that's in the chat that Darlene, matter of fact, I'm going to take just a minute again. I'm going to drop it in there one more time because I don't want nobody to say, I didn't see it. You're going to see it. You're going to see it again. Here it is.
This is such a wonderful platform, sharing this financial news with your audience. So yeah, this is great.
Thank
I'm
you so
open to
very much.
come back for any subject matter you would like.
Yes, you know I'm gonna have you back again. So don't even this is home. This is home. So you have right
Yes.
now, you have her booking link, you have her phone number in the chat again. So make sure that you copy and paste it somewhere. You click on it. What you need to do is take their cell phone out and save it. Save it. Darlene Jenkins, retirement ready strategist. That's what you put right next, so you know exactly who she is. And when you call her, and again, it doesn't matter where you are located,
Yep.
she is available to meet with you. She and her partner, Rita, are available to meet with you. So just click on that link, book it, or call her office, and they will set up the time with you. And email, like she'll email you everything she needs. She emailed me everything. So we're going to get together and
Oh
meet
yeah, I
and
should
then
put
work
my
together.
email in there. Let me send that to you, Sharon, real quick. So I don't know what I was thinking about that I didn't send you my email.
No
And you,
worries, because we were just busy talking and
I
getting out the information
know.
out to everybody. So that's fine. I'm gonna take this and drop it into the chat for our people, not just people who are on here now, but you know, those who want to come and listen to it later, because we know that people want to be listening to it later. So yes, yes, yes. And again, like and share this post. Make sure that others get the same information so they can be educated just like you. So again, Darlene, thank you. Thank you, everybody. And we look forward to engaging with you again next month. Have a great
All
evening,
right. Good
everybody.
night, everybody.
Bye-bye.